it has come to that time where me and my boyfriend have joint finances, and I'm going to show you how we did it and what the new budget setup looks like. The reason why we've joint finances is because we now are going back into renting, and it makes sense to pool all of our money together so that we can, well, first of all was to figure out how much we can afford to pay on rent and utilities, basically just see our lives together, what we spend our money on, whether it's essential savings or fun. And then also it means that we can pool together to work towards shared goals a little bit faster. What we've done first is we opened up a joint account, and that means that we both have access to it, we have our own cards for it, and then also with the joint account we decided to do it through Monzo. We also have a joint savings account, so all of our savings are in that same account so that we can get good amounts of interest from it. And then also we have access to it, both of us, and then same with the joint account, we have pretty much everything in there. This month, because we kind of migrated everything over to the joint account, there's a few things that still come out of my boyfriend's bank account, his subscriptions and things, which will get changed over. And then also our personal spending, we had a bit more personal spending money than we would going next month and forward, so we have a little bit more to spend on. And then now everything is set up so that when we get paid next, it will be our new setup. The first thing that I will show you is how I kind of migrated everything over. It was a little bit tedious, but this spreadsheet helped me to really understand. So if you have a look at the screen, you can see that on the left, I basically listed out every single transaction that we have coming out, and then I tracked what account it was on. And then once it was moved to the joint account, I put it as joint, and then also how much it is, whether I haven't changed it yet, I've set up it to come out of that account, and then whether the money is ready or not. Also due date of payments, and then because I was kind of taking charge, it was just whether my boyfriend had paid the money into the joint account or not yet. So a little bit of a method to the madness, but yeah, I just used one of those like templates that you can get from Google Sheets, and then just filled in my own stuff on how I wanted it to work, and it really helped me to organize everything. So now everything except my boyfriend's subscriptions are coming out of the joint account, which I'm really happy about. Now I'm going to show you the new budget setup and kind of explain how we're doing this. So I'm of course using YNAB, and I am no longer using the budget that you guys have seen with my Budget With Me videos. I have created a completely new budget for both me and my boyfriend to use for our joint finances. And then also I've created a new budget for my personal spending, because I do still want to track that and work towards personal goals. So I will show that to you as well. So the first one is the personal spending budget. Now, when we get paid, we'll still get paid into our separate accounts, and we will take out £150 each from the paycheck so that we have that as our personal spending money, and that stays in our personal bank accounts, and we can do with it whatever we want. We can save it for future things, or we can spend it all. That is up to us. And I think it's really important to still have that, especially since while we're serious, we're not married or anything like that, so it kind of helps to still have our own bank accounts and feel like we're in charge of our money. So everything else after we've taken the £150 out will go into the joint account, and then that is what's going to be budgeted out. So for my personal spending, my categories are all in this quality of life. I still like that as a category group name. And I've got social, so that's going out and doing things with friends or other people. I've got hobbies, anything that I want to fund towards things that I classify as hobbies, which could be running, it could be reading, it could be painting, anything like that. Then I've got solo day, anything that I want to do. If I go out and get a coffee by myself or go to the cinema, everything will come out of solo date there. Then I've got takeaway, this I kind of classify as fast food, or if I had a takeaway by myself, then that would come out of there. Travel, I'm going to see my grandma and go to a theatre with her at the end of August, and so I've got some money in there for when I travel and go and spend that money with her. And then I've got my hair, which I do want to keep setting money aside for every month, but I haven't quite figured out how much and how long it's going to take. I do want to keep refreshing my hair every 6 months, but again, with all of the changes to finances, since I last went, I don't know how regular it's going to be, but yeah, that is what's going to come out of there. And then odds and ends, as I've said previously, is just kind of miscellaneous spending that doesn't fit into anything else. Now I'm going to take you through our joint budget. So it's not as funded as it normally will be, but I'm just going to take you through everything as it is right now. So I'm filming this on the 8th of August, so I've got some things coming out and some stuff that is still there. So I'll start with long-term savings. So again, this is what it said. This is savings that's going to take a bit of time. I've got my month ahead. It's not going to stay in the category. It's more so just to remind myself to put the money in there and then budget it out into the next month when I do my budgeting. I'm aiming for £100 to go towards that every month and then to keep moving forward. At the moment in September, we have got £526.31 saved into the next month fund, and I was able to use a little bit of my boyfriend's emergency fund to go into that as well. And any sort of savings or sinking funds are in our joint savings account, so that's accruing interest, but we still can pull it out and use it whenever we want to. Then I've got house deposit. My boyfriend has maxed out his lifetime ISA for this, so we are kind of saving money together now for house deposit, and that will go into there. I'm hoping once we're settled and moved into our rental property that we can start contributing to that every month. Then I've got sinking funds, and there's quite a few here. So I've got house maintenance at the minute is for where we are right now, but I think once we move into our rental, this money will be divvied out where it needs to, whether that's for rent deposit or other things. Then I've got furniture. This is as it sounds, going towards furniture for our rental place. And then I've got rent deposit. That's where we're saving up for rent. So we've had 298 come out this month because that's our holding deposit. We have found a place to move to, which is really exciting. So a bit's come out of that, and then also next paycheck will add some more to that as well for the rent deposit. Then we've got fun saving. This is exactly how it sounds, saving towards fun things. So for example, at the moment on our wish list, we have a £500 coffee machine. That's going to take a bit of saving, but anything fun that we deem, worthy of saving for, that will come out of that. Ideally, I'd like to be able to take out of that every month, but I'm not quite sure at the moment. Our targets are going over how much we're actually going to be earning. So it's just going to take actually seeing how much our lives cost once we have these changes and knowing what we are going to be able to save every month. The next one is travel, again for trips, things like that. Then we've each got our own clothing categories. At the moment, we're both perfectly fine for clothes, so it might be a month or two before we start funding this, but ideally it would be about £30 each a month we'd put away for that. And then we've got our gift fund. Again, gifts for other people, and if we wanted to buy gifts for each other, that will come out of personal spending, but everything else we tend to split in terms of presents anyway for people, so now we're just going to fund that every month, and then birthdays and Christmas and things will come out of that category. Then we've got a buffer category, which is, as it sounds, just for any sort of extra change that we can put in there to cover overspending. Then we've got bills. We've got, of course, rent, utilities. This specifically covers water, electricity, gas, and council tax. And then we've got our TV license, which we pay for every month. We've got a Sky TV package. For those who aren't in the UK, it's basically like a Roku, I guess you could say, where you get live TV, but you also get a few things included. I think we get like Hey You, HBO Max, some sports as well, and Netflix is included in that, which is really good. So we pay £40 a month, but we get quite a lot out of it. We've got Wi-Fi, of course, and then each of our phone bills. Mine is going down actually to £16, so I think I overfunded that. my plan has changed. But yeah, that's going to be £16. And then my boyfriend's just recently got a new phone, so his is going to be going up, but it doesn't matter, we're going to be funding it together. Then I've got essentials, and that is going to include grocery, which I'm funding average spent. So every month I'll put the average amount that we've been spending in there. Home goods, this is for smaller things around the house like toasters, kettles, things like that we're going to have to buy for the house. Toiletries, this is all skincare, toothpaste, deodorant, that sort of thing. And then household products like cleaning, things like that. Odds and ends, miscellaneous spending. And then for cars, we have got his car is in red and my car is in blue, so we each have a car maintenance fund that we put money in. We brought the saving that we already had over, so for example, he had way more saved towards car maintenance than I did, and I put that into his category because I didn't think it was fair to combine all the saving and divvy it out equally when we've spent time saving for different things already. So that's why some of it is more funded than others. Then we've each got road tax, we've each got insurance. I've still got my car loan I need to pay for each month. And then petrol, based on where we're moving, this is going to go down significantly based on the fact that my boyfriend will be driving a lot less and I get better mileage from my car, but also my new job is only a few minutes further than my old job is from here, so that will be good. And then AA, we have a joint AA subscription, which is breakdown cover. And then we've got each of our subscriptions. So Monzo Perks, this gets you extra stuff. You get increased interest, and also you get like free things from different companies each month. Runner I'm paying for at the moment, which is a running app subscription. My NHS prescriptions, which just means that your prescriptions, you get them for a fixed rate every month. YNAB, of course, Spotify, and then also our Tesco Plus membership. We're not going to be paying for this much longer because our new place is nowhere near a Tesco, so we're going to be switching to a different supermarket. So that will be an expense that we don't have to anymore. My boyfriend's subscriptions, he's just got a few hobby ones, and then also things like Amazon Prime, Google Storage, YouTube Premium. And then quality of life, so this is going to be dates and also social for when we're together and with other people. So for example, if we were with his family or with some friends and we wanted to spend money going out, then that would come out of that social category. And then also takeaway, of course, when we get a takeaway together. And then Wish Farm is just some glasses for my boyfriend at the moment. Yeah, so that is our budget and our categories and how we've set that out. I have a few of these views at the top, so I've still got my monthly and my variable costs, and this is how I kind of fund, just knowing which ones I'm going to use probably average spent and which ones are going to have a fixed target. But what I am going to pay attention to is the essentials, the savings, and then the fun money when it does come to budgeting out. I'm not going to do a split, I don't think, because I don't think it's I think our essential costs are going to be most of our income, to be honest. I've tried to get our targets down as much as possible, but with adding rent, that's going to be almost £1,300 a month, and then also utility costs for that, it is just going to be a crazy amount of our pay coming out for that. But yeah, you guys will be able to see at the end of August, I'm going to be budgeting both of our paychecks into the budget, and yeah, so you will get to see me budgeting more money and with a different budget, and just kind of stick around to see those goals. If you've got any questions about combining finances, or if you've done it and you've done it in a different way, let me know. I know there's a few creators on YNAB that also have joint accounts and they do joint budgeting. So yeah, that is the setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.